This is Elisa Harmon's property, and we're doing a yard cleanup that will consist of pruning shrubs, removing some volunteer plants, and removing the weeds. So the weeds, like here, we're gonna use a string trimmer to knock it all down to about 2 inches high, and then spray it after. And then we'll do the same thing here. There's some weeds in here. There's a volunteer that's growing right here. We need to cut this all the way down to the ground. Do our best to pull the ones in the artificial turf here so it looks as clean as possible when we're done. And then make sure to blow the leaves out of the rock areas, the planter beds. We want to get all the debris out of here. There's some succulents here. They're good the way they are. All we need to do is just get rid of these spent flowers. Retaining wall right here, there's the jasmine. We're gonna prune that like a hedge, just kind of get a nice clean face to it. And then on top, there are weeds that we're gonna knock down as well, and there are volunteers. So that right there is a volunteer. This is a volunteer. Those palm plants are volunteers. See how the jasmine is starting to grow up in the fence? We wanna cut that off so it's not growing on the fence. These butterfly bushes, there's one, there's a second one there. We're just gonna prune it, remove the spent growth. So probably remove like 3 feet from the top, and that's about it. It should be good to go for springtime. And then there is a honeysuckle growing on this plant right here. So this, we're gonna carefully just pull it all back and just cut it all the way down. The client wants us to remove this plant. There's some weeds in here. This spent flower right here, we want to cut it all the way down and then cut that one all the way down. There's weeds in here. Just use a string trimmer. We'll bring a ladder, either a string trimmer or by hand. We want to cut that back and then spray it in there. The rosemaries, they look good. There's some weeds in there. Those will probably be best hand pruned, not a weed whacker, not a string trimmer. There's another volunteer right here. Remove this pile right here, just blow out all of the debris. This hedge growing from the neighbor's side, we're just going to use our pole trimmer, and we're going to get as high as we can to about 12 feet high and prune stuff back away from the roof. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Same thing with the photinia bush. I'm going to walk over here. All right, dog is super friendly, but she's going to, close them up when we come here to work. We want to create some clearance away from this fig tree, and then there's some branches growing up to the top. We want to take it back to about this high. See, there's new growth, so we're going to cut it off right here so it's not growing over the roof. There's debris here that needs to get blown out. Some weeds here. So these are actually weeds that we need to knock down with the string trimmer. The rest is fine. The succulents are good. This photinia bush as well, trim it as reasonably as far back as we can from the house. Okay, blowing all of this out. So this fence, we're gonna replace it. We're gonna bring, looks like it was built out of 1x3s and 1x5 pickets. So we'll bring that material, and the hinges are already here. So we're gonna reuse these hinges, but we are gonna rebuild this section of the gate. So a lot of debris here to blow out. This rose bush needs to get trimmed down to about the height of this fence. More weeds here that we're gonna knock down and then spray after. This grapevine, all we need to do is just everything that's growing out this way we want to remove. Everything growing out this way we want to remove. And that'll be it for that. There's some succulents here. So where they are growing over the edge right here, so we want to take this back. We want to put an edge on this all the way around so it's not growing onto the pathways. The potted plants all look good. We're going to leave them alone. They're in bloom right now. There's some more weeds in here. This is all weeds. And then this is the succulents. So we're going to kind of pull this back and knock this down with the string trimmer. Pomegranate bush looks good. Doesn't need anything here. So this is all weeded area that we need to knock down carefully. This hedge, we're going to prune it, especially here. See how there's a clearance? We want to prune it back. Same thing with this hedge. Kind of shape it up. We're not doing anything with this palm. We are pruning back this jasmine as well. Looks like it needs to go back about 6 inches for clearance. This is a bush. This is part of that hedge, so that this is all one height. It's going to be all one hedge right here, and then there's the ground cover. Be careful with the sprinklers. There's some sprinklers in here. Same thing with this hedge. Some weeds on this side that need to get knocked down. We're not doing anything with this hedge. We're leaving it for now, and that's it. That's the whole cleanup.